proud to introduce to you the next president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Get in the plane and go home. It's over there. You go home.
All right, welcome to Give Me Five, folks. A couple of things about that. First of all, as we've discussed, that Chris Christie has endorsed Donald Trump is a joke. Chris Christie is a joke. But that whole thing, you get out of here now. Go on the plane, go home. There it is. That he was doing him a favor. He didn't mean it in a derogatory nature. I understand that, but it still was pretty funny. Now, Chris Christie then went on George Stephanopoulos' show. He didn't go home. He went on with George Stephanopoulos on Sunday, and this was how it went.
I tell everybody who goes to a Donald Trump event, if you get to ask a question, just ask him how. First, he says he's going to build a wall across the entire border between the United States and Mexico. How? How is he going to make the Mexicans pay for the wall? How? They are a sovereign nation.
Yeah, that was Chris Christie then. And now that Chris Christie wants to be, I have to assume he knows he can't be the VP on the ticket, so he wants to be Attorney General, and he probably cut a deal. So now here's the new Chris Christie.
You know that Mexico's not going to pay.
Well, listen, George, what would you say? That's, of course, what they're going to say.
So what's the mechanism? How is Donald Trump going to force Mexico to pay?
Listen, I think that there is great ways to be able to use diplomacy and other tools to be able to come to compromise with nations that are both our neighbors and around the world. And we'll work on those things, and that's what leadership does. Strong leadership is able to exert those things and be able to talk to folks about what advantages and disadvantages are of certain policies.
The new Chris Christie. All right. Now, of course, one of the signature campaign platforms of Christie's campaign was Social Security reform. I didn't like the way he wanted to reform it at all, but he used to blast Donald Trump on Social Security. Watch this.
They say, Mr. Trump, what would you do on Social Security? He says, when I become president, the entire country is going to get so wealthy, so amazingly wealthy and rich, that we're not going to have to worry about Social Security. How?
Again, the question is how.
Yeah, and listen, I think that we need to do something on Social Security. I've made that really clear. And so, listen, Donald Trump and I are not going to agree on every issue.
But this is the signature issue of your campaign.
To agree on every issue, George.
Can't agree on every issue, George. So what do I disagree with him on? Every issue. This guy is so phony, so transparent, so disgusting. Here's more.
He says the answer on Social Security is eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse. In all of your speeches, you said that's not an answer. We need hard truths.
Listen, I've given my answer on Social Security, George, so I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying to you is
So you're disagreeing with Donald Trump?
What I'm saying is that he's going to give more complete answers as time goes on these issues.
Yeah, all right. You changed your tune, huh, Chris? Personally, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you would change your tune because you'd have to go back to being governor of New Jersey. You want to get the heck out of there, where your approval rating is about 30% right now. I live in that state. I know. So here you just sacrificed all your principles, not that you ever had any principles, sold out to endorse somebody who you despise. Here's more.
The idea of banning all Muslims for this country is ridiculous. And the reason it's ridiculous is because you don't need to do this safe. When Donald Trump said that, he was dead wrong. And he's dead wrong now.
Is he dead wrong now?
Listen, and that's not what he says any longer. He's backed off of that position over the course of time. But that's a big difference, George. That's a big difference from where his position was. That's a big difference from where the position was. And what we need to do.
So you endorse the one he has now?
Excuse me. Let me answer, George.
I'll answer for you. That was February 8th or something, that timestamp on there. Trump hasn't backed off anything since February 8th. He had previously backed off to an extent. So there was Christie purposely misrepresenting what Trump said about deporting Muslims on February 8th. And now he says, well, George, he backed off. Well, he backed off before you accused him of saying something he didn't say. This guy is a piece of work. He's pathetic. He's a blowhard. He turns people off with his obnoxious style, and he went on Saturday Night Live after people died in Hurricane Sandy 2 weeks later and said, everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Disgrace.